Good morning, Tori.
Morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not grumpy at all, actually.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Well, I'll see you later then. Thanks. That's just ruined the whole hour.
I can grump about... No. Honestly, if you start me off, I'm away.
I know. You've got some good ones, I can see. And we're also delighted that we've got Captain Canary on the line to us. If you talk about Norwich City, Captain Canary, this will be your shortest ever appearance on one of my radio programmes.
Morning, Mark. Morning, Tori.
Morning.
And you both have something in common. You're both lambing at the moment. How's it going, Tori?
Oh, we're all done. Yeah. So we've got a few late starters who decided that they didn't fancy lambing just yet. So they're going to go a bit later. They weren't quite so keen on the old boys. But yeah, we're all right. We've got Mark and Leslie, our bottle lamb. Well, Leslie's not a bottle lamb. Mark is. He's very needy.
Yeah, I know. That sums me up completely.
But no, it's all good. It's nice and quiet.
How's yours coming along, Captain?
Yeah, we're sort of, we've had one or two early ones, and we've just, literally just before you rang, we just picked up a couple of twin lambs that were born outside this morning, so we've just got them in the shed, and we were in the shed, but the cockerel was making too much noise because all the chickens are shut up at the moment, so I thought I'd better come in the house.
Very wise. We could have had live from the farmyard on the show today.
Look, it can be arranged if you want.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. So, lots of grizzles and grumps. Nothing too serious this morning. Oh, I've just got a complaint. Steph wants to know where's the lamb named after her.
Well, I think Simon's just had one, hasn't he?
Yes, I've got a little ewe lamb. We'll call that Steph this morning. There you go, Steph.
There you go. See,
lamb.
Yeah,
I'll send you a picture later.
You can stop moaning now. She's punching the air. So she's very, very happy. Let's have a little look at some of your grumps today. And don't forget, you can join in as well, 0800 141 2121. And sort of semi-serious, this one really. Well, fairly serious for you, Captain, isn't it? People still not aware of how to wear a mask properly. We've had almost a year of this, and yet still people stick it under their nose or under their chin.
Oh God, yeah. I know, we don't want to go on too much about the horrors of where we are at the moment, but I really do get annoyed when you're out and about, and I hate to say this, but my father-in-law is one of the worst.
Oh dear.
We've all decided that to be on the safe side, although we're sort of quite a close family, we've got quite a few people that come into the farm that have run businesses out of there, so we've made sure all the signs go up for mask wearing, etc. But I cannot understand how people can't get to grips with the whole mask goes under your chin and over your nose. There is no point in wearing a blinking mask at all if you're going to leave your nose exposed.
That's very true, and I do see it. I went shopping the other day, and there were a few people with it dropped under their nose. It is uncomfortable, isn't it? It's not nice. And
no.
I have to go for if I'm honest, I have to go for the disposable ones, the blue disposable ones, because for me, I've got a little bit of room to breathe in there. So they are uncomfortable, and I can see why people might want to pull them down, but it does completely defeat the object, particularly when they're doing it and they're pouring over food in a supermarket.
Yeah, that's a very good point, that.
Stupid, isn't it? What do you think of that one, Tori? Should we all be able to do it by now?
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? I saw something on Facebook the other day. It said it takes less time to train a toddler, to potty train a toddler than it does to wear a mask. So, yeah, I think, come on, we've got to get it right now. I'm sure it's more uncomfortable being in a COVID ward.
Yes, because, of course, not only are you exposing other people to your germs potentially, but you're also raising the risk of you catching something yourself by doing that.
As a lipstick wearer, wearing a mask is pretty traumatic, and I do often come out of places looking like a clown. And if I can do it and ruin this very, very expensive facial adornment, then everyone surely can. I look like a clown some days, but it's okay. I'm not spreading my germs.
Captain, how'd you get on with your lipstick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I like the disposable ones because you say that the ones that are sort of the cloth ones that they made that a lot of these people have made with special things on. I find them a little bit too claustrophobic, so I go for the medical ones But I do have an issue that I have a rather long nose, so it does give me a little bit of problems every now and again. A bit of sticky tape sometimes comes in handy.
Bit of aggro tape across your nose.
So we want everybody to wear their mask properly, don't we? That's yes.
We do.
Are we all in agreement?
Oh,
I
yes.
think we are.
Oh, yes.
I think we are all in agreement. Yes. There we are. We'll add that to our manifesto, although it's already in the governments, I think. And certainly we saw earlier this week the supermarkets tightening up on people at long last going in and challenging people if they're not wearing a mask. And
that must be really hard, though, for them, isn't it? Poor things. But it's got to be done.
Yeah, a lot of places have got security staff on. But if you go into some of the stores, they've got young people who are manning the stores, and do you come on, employers, do you really expect sort of I'm not knocking the younger people, but if you're 18 or 19 and you've got to face up someone who's not wearing a mask, I mean that's pretty uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But we've got to do it. Come on, we're nearly there, people.
Okay. Well, the phone lines have lit up, so I suspect you may get some more comments on that one in a moment or two. And let's look at yours, Tori. You've got quite a few I can see this morning. Would you like to talk, first of all, perhaps, about roadwork diversion signs? I know Suffolk Highways love listening to this show. So pin your ear holes back, Highways. Come on.
Well, they're just so confusing. I want to know, right? It always says road closed. I get that. Fine. It says road closed, Brown Street. Does anyone ever know where Brown Street is? I barely know where I am half the time. And it says road closed at such and such. I'm thinking, well, I don't even know where that is. So I'll keep going a bit further. And then it says diversion. And it points in some different direction. Is that the diversion? And then you get to the road and it says diversion end, but the road's closed in front of me. Where's the diversion? Where am I going? I spend more time lost than anything else. And you end up at the road closed bit, and the old boy in his road closed, the people that monitor them, they're like, well, the road's closed. I know that. I was trying to find how to get around it. I always end up at the actual blockage thinking, no, I still don't know where I've got to go.
Do you experience this, Captain, as well?
Yes. It's been a nightmare at this part of the world because obviously they've been trying to put a lot of broadband fibre optic cables in around the countryside lately, and with those and normal roadworks, you can drive around for days trying to find out where you're going.
That's just like being back home in Norfolk, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, quite homely, really.
Sorry about that. I've missed.
I'm constantly lost, Mark.
Yeah, I've missed, Captain. Our barbed conversations on Life's a Pitch. So forgive me if I slip the odd one in.
That's all right. Don't you worry.
He deserves it, really. He deserves it. When we sold him a sheep, my lovely Ding Dong, he kindly took Ding Dong off me, but we did have to paint Ding Dong blue. As an Ipswich Town fan going to a Norwich City home, Ding Dong was sprayed blue, head to foot.
He had a blue rinse.
You don't think this poor bloke who was caught in Norfolk driving from Mildenhall to Scrapby, 64 miles, to get some fish and chips, you don't think he was caught in some diversion route, do you?
Yeah, well, that'd probably be my excuse if I was going to get me knuckles wrapped, but there's no excuse for that, even if you're from Norfolk.
So, Tori, what would you like the highways people to do? What would make it better for you? Because they do listen.
Well, I think they just need to be a bit more detailed for me, if that's okay. Because it says road closed ahead, and I'm very blessed them. They do give you plenty of warning. But the other day I was going somewhere and it said road closed ahead. And so I followed the diversion about 75 miles. I was probably going to Scrapby by the time I got there. But actually the road was only closed 100 yards before where I wanted to go to. So I could have got much closer without going around my long diversion. But I suppose it's for the lorries, isn't it? They've got to need it. But I just get so confused.
Well, you're not alone. We often have calls about diversionary routes that are put up and don't seem to go nowhere, and sometimes they actually take you back to where you started from. I've had over the years, I've had all sorts of various combinations. So yes, you just have to follow the signs and hope that the signs are put up in the right place.
Well, they do their best, I'm sure.
I know, yeah, I'm sure they do. This is just coming from John in Bury. Surely the day today to have a grump about Trump. Do you want, Captain? Do you want to have a quick go?
Oh, Mr. Orange, Mr. Angry Orange Man.
Well, he's peached now, isn't he? He's I've seen the picture. It says on there, "I'm peached."
Yeah. Look, to be honest with you, I'm not really interested in the American side of things at the moment, because we're going from a very angry imbecile that was orange to let's dare say, a 77-year-old man that looks like he's on his last legs with slightly going senile. So I'd pray for America, to be honest with you.
He's very vigorous, according to Lee, who was on with us earlier on today. I don't know how she knows how vigorous he is, but apparently...
Well, we'll leave that one. That's
very
an early morning show.
Okay. What do you think about Trump? Do you want to have a grump, Tory, about Trump?
Well, I just think he's a bit of a lively one, isn't he? A little bit out of hand, a bit self-important. So I think it's probably time he cracked on and went and did something else more important elsewhere.
We've had a complaint this morning. It's come from Grumpy Howard in Creting. He was not a fan of Wings and Band on the Run. If we weren't fed up with lockdown enough, the lyrics to Band on the Run tip us all over the edge. Always hated that song anyway, but now it should be banned permanently, says Grumpy Howard. Oh yeah, I forgot. Stuck inside these four walls. It's not really what you want to hear, is it, really?
Don't. All I want to do is go outside.
I know. Let's talk to Christine.
I want to go somewhere.
I want to go to London and lose myself in the shops, but you can't go on the train and there's no shops open. And it's not essential. Anyway, let's talk to Christine, who's on the line to us from Holton near Halesworth. Good morning, Christine.
Hello, Mark.
Good morning, Christine. What's annoying you, Christine?
I'm not that much of a grump, really, but it's just this sort of what you'd call incidental music that seems to be played on everything, from the news to different sort of programmes. I think I've got pretty good hearing, but it just spoils the enjoyment of actually what you're watching.
So I think sometimes the music has added to create drama or tension, that kind of stuff, you know.
Oh, God. I mean, they even did it on the news once. I think my husband was, they had the Spitfire on, and all he wanted to do was just hear that lovely drone of the Spitfire, and then they decided to put this dramatic music on as that was flying through the sky, which completely ruined it. But
oh dear,
I don't know whose idea it was who started this, but it's really, really unnecessary.
Well, I think I might wind you up now, because if I push this button here, you see, then we can start talking over Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill for the next few moments.
That's not dramatic enough. Come on.
Listen to this, look. There we are, look. What do you think about that one then, Tori? Has Christine got a point?
Yeah, I think so. But I find that some things, it gets in your head and you can't help but sing along. There was a drama series not so long ago that had got this underlying music all the way through. And I was like, you can't help but sing along. I'd quite like to have some music that goes with my life, though. It'd be quite good, wouldn't it? You start to get a rage on, and the dun 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 dun.
You'd like the EastEnders beats, would you? Doof doof.
Oh, Jaws. Jaws would be good. Here goes Tori. She's about to lose the plot when there's another set of children's shoes in the hallway. Dun 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 dun. You see the children running for miles. That is.
That would give a fair warning, wouldn't
it? Yeah. Just like a warning set of tunes for me. That would be quite good.
Does that annoy you as well, Captain, when you're watching something?
Not so much these days, because I'm going deaf, but I'll have to say that the incidental music I can't stand is when you're waiting on the line when you've called a call centre and they play some all god-awful music and you're sitting there for the next 3.5 hours waiting to speak to somebody, and then they cut you off right at the end.
Oh, I always get caught singing along when they answer. I'm in full flow.
Yes, I've spent several hours over the last few days ringing up. I won't say who, what, or where, because it will let you know what I've been up to. But I've been ringing up somewhere trying to get something sorted out. Oh yeah, Norwich City season ticket. Yeah, and they just, the menu just went on and on on and on and on, and then at the end it said, "And all our caller operators are busy." And you just think, why don't you say that at the start?
I know, it drives you mad, Mark. Absolutely mad. That's a hell of a good grump, that one.
Oh, just say, we've got nobody to answer your phone at the moment at the beginning of your call, rather than going through menu this, menu that, do this, do that. And then all of a sudden, sorry. Brrr. Anyway, look, Captain, you've already upset your father-in-law because he can't wear a mask properly. Is there anybody else in the family you want to upset over toothpaste?
Yeah, my wife. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a tube of toothpaste or a tube of tomato puree or a tube of garlic puree. What is it with these people that don't squeeze the tube from the bottom? they squeeze it in the middle, near the top. So when you go to it, you've got to you can't squeeze in. You've got to push it all up from the bottom to get it to the top to come out. That annoys me immensely. So what I tend to do is I roll the bottom up, so she's got no choice. So she's got to squeeze it from the right place.
She's doing it just to make sure you're doing that for her, though, isn't she? You see, if we squeeze from the middle, some little other person in the house is going to come around and go, "Oh God," and then roll it up from the bottom.
Yeah, I know what you lot plan. I know you just do it to annoy us. I know. I've spoken to Ben several times. He's the same.
So poor old Mrs. Canary's not doing it properly then.
No, not when it comes to tubes. Not, but she has bought a new toothpaste where I don't know what it is. It's a new. I can't say it. Probably say it. It's a new Sensodyne one, and
right.
And it doesn't matter where you squeeze it from. The air seems to go back to puff it out. So she's probably got the message now.
Get one of those pump action ones that
Yeah.
Oh, that would be even better. I've
They
got a
stand
grease
up.
gun like that. You put it on an air compressor, but I wouldn't fancy squeezing that. You'd have the whole tube out in about 3.5 seconds.
Ivor's been in touch.
My children do that anyway.
Yes. So yes, I think it's been a bit like that in our household as well over the years. I am one sorry, Captain, that squeezes from the middle.
Oh, no.
Me too.
Poor Leslie.
You are, she's got a lot to put up with. This is just coming from Ivor. Can you ask the Grumpy Old Gits this week how they feel about this? I have a real pet hate about television shows that start the show with clips of what's in this episode so that you know exactly what's coming up. It just spoils it for me.
Yep, I'll go with that. The same as all these spoilers that come out. I don't. If I'm going to watch, especially a drama, if you're going to watch a drama, you don't want to know who's killed the person at the beginning. You want to wait till the end.
And it's when you have the cliffhanger, isn't it? The week, you have a cliffhanger, and then at the end of the episode, they do the trailer ahead to the following week, and you see that person walking down the street. So you think, oh well, they've not been dead after all.
Yep.
That kind of spoils it a bit.
I don't like anything to spoil the surprise, but I always do need a catch up at the beginning of an episode because I'm a woman of a certain age. I can't remember anything, so I do need that start that says previously. So
I don't mind that. Previous is all right.
Now.
It's the other bit, definitely.
Yeah, but the thing is now a lot of people will binge watch one after the other, so you don't have to concentrate quite so hard, because when you used to have to wait a week, it's like, crikey, what happened last week?
Yeah, that is the beauty of modern television with all your Netflix and your Skies. You can. I'm going through Vikings at the moment, and there's about 155 series of that. So yeah, it's. Don't mind a prelude of what's been happening, but definitely don't want to know what's going on.
Okay, let's bring in Margaret from Hawley now. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, Mark.
Music on television programmes and canned screaming.
Oh, this drives me mad. I know when Strictly's on and the audience is there, they're all screaming and clapping and what have you, but I watched Dancing on Ice on Sunday night. And the noise from the laughter and the screaming, you can't hear the music. In the end, I turn the sound down and I just watch them dancing because, for me, it spoils it. The noise, is absolutely awful.
I'm with you.
It's horrid, isn't it? Absolutely horrid. And I agree with that other lady about talking when people are doing a report and you can hear this music in the background. You think, oh, why don't they turn it off? And I'm getting old. I must be getting old because the noise is pathetic.
Well, I think there is. I hate to break this to you, but I think there is an element of that. And I think once your hearing starts to go a little bit, and I'm in that camp as well. I mean, I've worn headphones doing this job for 30 years, so my ears are not as best as they could be. But so I do agree with you sometimes that the music. And it's all about getting the balance right, I think. And sometimes, if you're mixing these things in a studio, you can hear everything crystal clear. And so I'm sitting in here and I'll mix something. And I think, oh, that sounds lovely. But by the time it's gone, down the wire and wherever it goes and out of your radio, sometimes that the gap between the music and the speech is not quite as big as it should be, and it becomes a bit sort of blurred, I think. So I think some of it is the technical fault of the people putting it together, and then sometimes I just think it's our hearing's getting a bit iffy.
I don't think my hearing is. I think it's just this screaming.
Is it canned stuff then? Have they not got an audience at Dancing on Ice?
No, not at the moment.
Oh.
So, you know, I mean, and it's bad enough any time because I went to a Dancing on Ice and they do psych the audience up, you know, so they've only got to do a slight lift and everybody's screaming and clapping and you think, oh, get a life, for goodness sake. I'm sorry.
Whatever happened to polite applause?
Sorry?
Whatever happened to a ripple of polite applause? That's much nicer.
Yes.
Exactly. We've all been young. We've all been when the Beatles and everybody was screaming and everything. But I don't think for these other programs they quite need to do it so much.
Okay.
For me, it spoils it because it's taking away from what you're supposed to be watching.
Margaret, thank you very much. Lovely to hear from you. Concurrent there from, if that's a word, concurrent, it is now, from Captain Canary. So you agree with that then, Captain?
I do, and I think we found another grumpy old git to come on with us.
Quite possibly. Yeah, we're looking to fill some gaps. This has just come in from Mark S. On the email. I just can't get my head back to Trump and grumping about Trump. I just can't get my head round why the United States of America is making such a fuss over, and I quote, 2 old farts. One going out and one going in. With all their worth, why would you want to run the USA in your twilight years? I would rather be having a good time with all my hard-earned billions, says Mark. So why on earth they want to put themselves through all of that, he just cannot quite understand. Well, I suppose it's been driven to duty. Do you not fancy that then, Tori?
No, absolutely not. I couldn't think of anything worse. All you're going to do is get moaned at. You're never going to get it right. Everyone's always going to be miserable with you. Whatever you do is going to be wrong for somebody. It's a poison chalice. Poor old Boris, I bet he wishes he'd done the Brexit years now. He's thinking, oh, dearie me, it couldn't get any worse. And it did. He wimped out of Brexit, didn't he? Oh, sorry, I'm not going to do that now.
Please.
But now he's got COVID and Brexit.
COVID and Brexit in one programme's just too much. Grumpy from Deborah now. She's just emailed through. Here we go. It's over pop at radio presenters now. I hate it when radio presenters give out TV programme results without prior warning. Some people record programmes to watch the next day or the next evening. By the way, music over conversation is abhorrent. Blimey, big word. It's difficult because you can't. It's like you can't win actually because you want to talk about what happened on The Apprentice last night, for argument's sake. So I do the breakfast show. You may have noticed. So if The Apprentice is on the night before, you want to be talking about The Apprentice on air the next morning. It's in every newspaper. It's on TV channels. It's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's absolutely everywhere. And so I think if you record something, I'm going to turn this round, Deborah. I think if you record something, you should expect to find out the answer to what happened inadvertently somewhere or other. It's impossible to hide away from all of these moments. We often get news of results of programmes before they've aired. And I remember sitting in the office, Kelly McCormack's ears will pick upstairs now, because I was sitting across one side of the office and the result of The Apprentice came through as an embargoed press release. And I blurted out enough of it for her to realise who'd won. And spoiled it.
Oh, no.
Terrible. It was Bake Off. She's just shouted at me. It was Bake Off. Sorry, Bake Off.
I think, Mark, you're in a no-win situation there, I'm afraid. That's just how it is, isn't it?
It is difficult because you've got to be topical. You want to talk about things, you know? Yeah.
Well, you're employed to talk about the news and what's going on, and if that is the news on that day, then sadly that's just how it is. I think you wouldn't be able to win in that situation, and I feel sorry for the person who gets the spoiler, but that's just this modern world, isn't it? Well,
we do try and say spoiler alert, and make a klaxon noise and things, but obviously we need to work harder. Let's talk to Chris, who's on the line. Go on, Tori, what to say?
Put those sound effects on you again, Mark, look.
Let's talk to Chris. Hello, Chris.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. So, music.
Yes, it's this new fad that the artists or the producers have, or both of them. They all seem to follow each other like sheep. This clicking or hand clapping, electronic clicks on, in music. There seems to be not a song goes by now that hasn't got on sort of beats 2 and 4 of the bar an electronic finger snap or an electronic plan. And I tell you something, that is really annoying.
It's funny, when something gets you, it gets you, doesn't it?
Oh, I'll tell you something. I had a bit of a moan to James about it last year. And the rotten sod went and played a record with that very stuff in it after the call or after the text. But yeah, you know, I mean, I listen to Suffolk for probably 3/4 of the day.
Yeah, good man.
The thing is, so many modern records now have this dreadful click or snap on, on, like I say, on beats 2 and 4 of the bar, and it's just, it just drives me nuts.
You've got it off your chest now. I can't cure it for you, but you've got it off your chest now. But
the producer seems to. It's because it's popular, I suppose. And
it'll pass.
They think, this will be a hit. We'll put some electronic snaps on this, and that'll probably sell a few more records. But
as I say, when you tune
in. Absolutely dreadful.
When you tune into something, it gets you. So for me, if I can have a little grump with you as well, Chris, as well, it's when I watch a TV drama, and the thing that everybody seems to do now is to walk around with a takeaway coffee cup. It's like a prop for their hand. It's a takeaway coffee cup. They'll walk in, police drama, coffee cup, down on the table, passing it over to somebody else. When you hear them put it down, that it's empty. You can hear that it's empty. When they're waggling it around, you can see that it's empty. When they drink it, you can see that it's empty. So they go to all this trouble with productions to make them look, as up to date and as brilliant as possible. Yet they can't. I'm not suggesting that they put coffee in there. They could just put water in there, and when they put it down, it would go like that rather than sound empty.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've noticed that when they take a sip, I mean, I've seen it. I was watching an old episode of Lovejoy a while ago, and he was drinking. I'm sure because he's I think even Ian McShane is a Manchester United fan. Why, I don't know, but there you go. I think he's probably Mancunian. But anyway, he was drinking out of a Manchester United mug, and you could tell as he put it up to his mouth, you knew there was nothing in that mug, and like you say, so simple, just put some water in it.
Yep, I know. Yep. It drives me absolutely crazy.
Yep.
One day, Chris, thank you very much for getting in touch. Lovely to hear from you. There's quite a lot coming into us here today. Trevor's been in touch. I completely agree with the lady who complained about spoilers shown before the programme starts. Match of the day, bargain hunt, Antiques Roadshow. I wrote to Points of View about this, but guess what? Of course, says Trevor, I was ignored. Well, I did watch Antiques Roadshow on Sunday because that was based in Ipswich, and there did seem to be quite a lot given away right at the very beginning of the programme.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
I thought that too.
Yeah, I thought, that's how much
my
that's
mum's
worth
next door neighbour was on there. It's very exciting.
Yeah. Was it worth a lot? Is she worth knowing?
Well, yes, she's a lovely lady next door to my mum. She looks after mum, so it's really good. But she's got some big bits of stone, I think, under her bed that are worth quite a lot of money.
Oh, right, okay. John in Southwold, don't get me going on about toothpaste tubes and squeezing in the middle. Or cling film. When I put cling film away, I like to concertina an extra 3 inches back into the roll. It makes it easy to see where the end is and pull it out next time you use it. So clearly John's got some cling film issues as well as toothpaste issues. Stephen's been in touch. I get cheesed off with the dreadfully fake crowd sounds that accompany live football matches at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It's a bit like the canned laughter in a comedy that we were talking about a bit earlier. You sit and watch it on the telly, and there's absolutely no one in the stands, and then you've got the real crowd. And if the bloke on the button doesn't hit the button quick enough when they score or miss a shot, it's I'd rather have no sound on.
Oh, I don't know. I've watched it without sound, and I don't like it. I can't get enthusiastic. Having come from the North Stand, I think I need a bit of noise to go with my football. Yeah,
well, you're not used to much noise at Carrow Road, are you, Captain?
I've deliberately kept off that subject, Mark, so I want to stay on for a bit longer.
We're out of time. Sadly, we are out of time.